This is Jets at Noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Hello. Happy to be back in the saddle here. Cam Poitras, Jim Toth. Jim, how are you?
Hello, Cameron. I'm well, thank you. Good to have you back. Things have changed since you went away.
Things have changed.
Things are different now. Blood has been shed, Jerry.
I'm back.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was Fargo.
I'm a different man.
You look different.
I do. I feel different.
You feel better?
I feel like a free man, you know?
You let her wash
all
away.
that matzah, you know? Just let the river of the Nile wash over me.
Let the matzah wash over you like a gentle breeze as a schoolboy runs through a field on his way home from school.
That's right. Chag to everybody. And of course, happy Easter as we approach Good Friday to all who, of course, celebrate. I'm lucky enough to celebrate both. Well, we weren't a big Easter family, but like we always got together and had a meal.
Somewhere there's a Larry David segment in this that goes, you can't double down.
You can double dip. I'm proof that you can.
Can't get both.
Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line. Win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method. 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later on in the program. Coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. First of all, the Winnipeg Jets, President's Trophy champs. Before I get into my thoughts on that, do not send me, Jim, and you're number one on this list. Don't send me any playoff hype videos. What I mean by that is, as you know, what the playoffs are. They're going to start the songs. When people put Jets players' names into songs and they throw the Stanley Cup in there. The Oilers had some really lame ones last year. The Canucks had a couple of lame ones. Don't send them to me. I will not play them. I do not like them. Don't send them. Just do not send me any Jets hype videos. They will not find their way on air. And that goes for you, Jim, because I know you love these things. You're a big Jets hype video song parody fan.
You know, our media brethren, like the Ace Burpees and the Brody Jacksons of the world.
Yeah, they're already working on them, and I do not want to hear them.
Send them right to Cam. So you guys text me. I'll give you his, not only, I'll give you his home, your home address so they can present it to you on your doorstep.
Don't send them to me. And there is so many people working on them right now, and they're going to try to go viral. And whatever it is, put them all over social media. I don't want to hear them.
All I'm hearing is, since you became a father, you don't like fun. Fun is over. Keep the noise down.
Don't waste your time on a parody of Hotel California, putting in Connor Hellebuck and Kyle Connor into the song.
So if they take on the Wild, you don't want to hear a parody of Soundgarden.
No, I don't.
I'm looking California, feeling Minnesota.
Do not bring those. I will not play them on air.
There's got to be some St. Louis songs out there too.
Don't send them to me. So don't email me. Don't email them to me at cam@cjob.com. Don't email them to me at cam@cjob.com. Don't send them to me on Cam at Noon on X. Don't do it. I don't want to see them. I don't want to hear them. I'm not going to play them.
I didn't know you had this.
Don't email me at cam@cjob.com. Don't even text the show at 204-780-6868 and send them to me by text on the program. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to see them. Do not do it.
So look, you're being pretty vague here, but what I think you're saying is you don't like playoff songs.
I don't like playoff hype videos. No.
Playoff hype video songs.
So don't dare send them to cam@cjob.com. Don't send them to me.
You're about 3 years away from your son, like singing a song that he hears on the radio or sees on a video and just putting it out everywhere on video that, you know, my son loves Nate Smith and he was singing it the other day. I think I sent it to 14 people.
Yeah.
And 7 of them got back to me and they're like, Toth, you're that dad.
Yeah.
Because 20 years ago, when I would send you photos, you're like, yeah, that's good. Your kid can pick up a flower. That's awesome.
Loren McNabb, the manager of Talk and Text here at 680 CGB, was nice enough to ask me for photos today.
Yeah.
And I gladly showed them. It's like, well, finally. Yeah. I like to be that person. Like Sarah in the morning, we sit next to each other. Sarah McCarthy does the mornings here on 680 CGB. She sits right behind me. So
what if your son is in one of these playoff hype videos?
No.
Like with a tiny Jets jersey on.
This is how much I don't like it.
No, okay.
No, I don't like it.
So there, you've been told, Winnipeg.
Yeah, Shauna text the show, 204-780-6868. This whole segment will only ensure everyone sends you every version of hype songs that they come across. Ha ha. Shauna, no. That is not what I'm trying to say. Do not send them to cam@cgob.com. Don't send them to me on social media on X at cam@noon. Do not send them to me. That is the exact wrong thing, Shauna. You're taking away this completely incorrectly. Don't text the show at 204-780-6868. I don't want to see playoff hype videos.
If we're laying the law down, then do not send me Great White Norths from Boston Pizza. I do not want gift cards to the many locations of Boston Pizza or their delicious Great White Norths, and I certainly don't want to spend it on schooners of beer at all during the playoffs. Don't send those to me. Do not e-transfer me.
This is, you know what?
What do you make of the President's Trophy?
It's an incredible accomplishment.
Like I was revisiting with Braden yesterday from training camp.
Yeah, you know, it's an incredible accomplishment for this organization. Is anyone going to be hyped up about a President's Trophy banner going up? Maybe you know what? In 10, 15 years, it'll be something more of note than it is right now. The Stanley Cup is number one, absolutely, 100%. It's 99.9% to 0.1%, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the cup. But 15 years, 20 years from now, you're going to look up and see the President's Trophy. The Jets were the best team that year, that season. That's an incredible accomplishment. I was kind of on the fence about there being a banner going up for the Central Division title, which I still think also is a great accomplishment considering it took that many games for the Jets to clinch it. I'm not sure you put up the Central Division title if the Jets decide to do that. I'm all for it. I think you need to celebrate things when they happen, good things. But I definitely think you put up a President's Trophy banner, absolutely. Hey, you guarantee home ice in Game 7s all throughout the playoffs. That's important. So I think it's a good thing, but let's drop the puck on the playoffs. We got in some text messages here about the latest on Nikolaj Ehlers, Gabriel Vilardi, Dylan Samberg. We will get to that. Kelly Moore, 680 CJOB sports director, as well as Jet studio host, was down at practice today, this morning at Hockey for All Center. So we're going to make sure that we get to that. He'll be joining us after 12:30. We'll have all the latest from the practice today. There's some big news. I will tell you right now, there is some big news.
And I was just going to say, there's some, and not the familiar one you might be expecting. There's some big news on a couple fronts.
Yeah, so we're going to definitely touch on that when Kelly joins us after 12:30. You want to stay tuned for that. What are you going to do for the rest of this week? Leading up to the playoffs.
Wait,
yeah.
Look, it's Easter weekend, as we know. We got Good Friday. They're going to play Anaheim tomorrow. I kind of got a giggle out. For those of you who know, we in the media get the lineup sheets usually at night, usually the night before a game around, if the Jets aren't playing and they're in Chicago and they play Chicago tomorrow, we'll get a lineup emailed out to us for both teams. And we don't know if that's the lineup that'll be active. That's what the game day skates are for, but it's just general, here's the rosters. We usually get at 8 at night or maybe even after a game at like at 10:30 or 11. We've gotten the lineup for the Anaheim game tomorrow about an hour ago. And Anaheim plays tonight in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So I kind of got a chuckle out of that. And they're just like, here's your lineup for tomorrow's game. Because that's kind of what tomorrow's game is now, right? Like, here you go.
Can I give you a tease?
Yeah.
Because I do the keys to the game every morning on the start with Mackling and McGarry. And I usually try to figure out 3 points, right? I have, I think of like number 1, number 2, number 3, and I rank them as to what the Winnipeg Jets need to do to win that game that night, whether it be home or away. I only have one this time, and I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you what it's going to be. If you're tuned in tomorrow, they play it around 8:15 in the morning. It's the quickest keys to the game of all time. It's number 1, stay healthy. Who cares? Move on. Let's get to the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's what this is. This is all about, right? So this Anaheim,
stay healthy.
Like it's about.
Do you even care if they win?
No, God, no.
Like nobody's talking about like last year. You want to go in on they won 8 in a row, right? And went into the playoffs.
Listen,
you lose before you go in. They've lost to the Oilers. To me, it's all. I'm with you. It's all about.
Here's where the games that prepped them for the playoffs. They have St. Louis coming here on a 12-game winning streak. They snuffed that out. They go into Dallas, resounding victory over the Stars, which brings you within an inch of clinching the Central. And you go in on a late night, head into Chicago. You play against a team that has nothing to play for, and you find a way against a scrappy game played by the Chicago Blackhawks. You find a way to win that game and clinch the Central Division when it's in your control. You don't have to wait for Dallas to lose or anything like that. You take care of business yourself. And so that to me was the Winnipeg Jets, the lead up here, right? And these last two games, well, are they important? Some players are going to want to get in. They're going to want to make sure that their game is right, and they don't want to have too much time off. That's what this game is important for those guys to stay sharp. But other than that, like the Jets could lose 8-0. Who cares?
Yeah. I'm the same way, and we're going to get – so what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to watch the games like Calgary-Vegas tonight. Vegas wins. They'll eliminate the Calgary Flames. And then, we have to wait to see about Minnesota or St. Louis, and we'll find that out too. There's 7 games on Thursday, which is, again, this schedule because of the Four Nations break.
Yeah.
But the Flames have the Kings. It could be over tonight for the Flames. And St. Louis and Minnesota will be wrapped up as well, so we'll know by then. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention to these games. Then I'm going to delve into some of these matchups, right? Like hey, when do we find out who the Jets are going to play, I'll do that and then sort of get into this team. And what Kelly's going to tell us is how healthy it'll be and what the lineup might look like.
Let's take a break. Let's come back. On the other side, Minnesota, St. Louis, and Calgary, as you're just mentioning. They're all in action today. Anaheim is at Minnesota. Utah's at St. Louis. Vegas is at Calgary. What needs to happen? Because the Jets could play either one of those 3 teams still in the first round. It's still up in the air, but it could be wrapped up tonight, or we could be waiting for Thursday when Calgary plays the Kings.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know why today. I don't think Calgary's going to beat Vegas tonight.
You don't think so?
But their backs against the wall. They're great, but that's when I'll be
Calgary's
watching.
got a tougher schedule. I mean, they got to play the Kings too after this one,
and I'll leave you with this. I've said it before, but I'll leave you with this. What CJOB needs is more cult.
CJOB does need more cult. Kelly Moore will join us. He'll give us the latest from practice, give us an in-depth injury update. What's going on? What's the latest from Jets practice? All that to come.
It might surprise you.
CJOB.
So Minnesota has 95 points. St. Louis has 94 points. Calgary has 92. Calgary cannot move into a playoff spot. If they win in regulation and St. Louis loses in regulation, all they can do is tie the Blues in regulation wins with 31. But St. Louis owns the regulation and overtime win. So the Flames cannot move into a playoff position today. But they can certainly lose it. If they lose in regulation to Vegas, they're out. If St. Louis can clinch a playoff berth with a regulation win over Utah, and Minnesota just needs to earn a point against Anaheim. So
I think we're going to find out tonight.
Yeah.
Calgary.
The odds suggest we will.
Calgary takes on the Golden Knights. Minnesota takes on Anaheim at home. And St. Louis takes on Utah at home. I don't think Minnesota and St. Louis are both going to lose, despite what Calgary does. So I think we're going to find out tonight.
I hope so.
And then Calgary has 1 game left against the Kings on Thursday.
Call the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline. Open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main, side, and ice-cold drink for only $15 only at BP. Kelly Moore, latest from Jets practice. Injury update. You're going to want to hear when we come back. Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. The VIP take on the text line is going to win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. We're joined now by the great Kelly Moore, 680 CJOB Jet Studio host. Hello, Kelly.
Oh, wow. That's the first time I've ever been called great, so I'll take that as a win for today.
It might be the last, Kelly. I can't promise you that.
It's playoff time, so everything's great right now.
It's not playoff time, Toth. There's game 81 in the books. There's still game 82 to play. Take that back.
All right, I recant that and the great. I'll bestow the great after when it's playoff time.
Kelly, we're getting a bunch of text messages. We've been getting some calls too as well. People want to know the latest from Jets practice. What can you tell us? Who was on the ice? And as well, who also did we get a bit of a disappointing update too from head coach Scott Arniel?
For sure. Let's go with the what I would consider to be the most significant news that we heard. And Scott Arniel, who had previously listed Nikolaj Ehlers as day-to-day, says it is now week to week. It's an aggravation of the injury that Ehlers suffered in Vegas when he blocked that shot. Now, there was a 7-day timeline for his recovery from when he suffered that injury to when he returned to the lineup back on April 10th in Dallas last Thursday. So if this is an aggravation, again, I'm only giving you what we know, but Scott Arniel listed him now as week to week. I think the other significant aspect of today's practice, probably in the co-importance position, was Dylan Samberg was out on the ice and was fine, and maybe a 2B. Gabe Vilardi out on the ice skating on his own for the first time in a conditioning mode. Now, Scott Arniel didn't specify Gabriel Vilardi, but other than Nikolaj Ehlers, he said everybody else was day to day, and that is going to be the mantra for the remainder of the regular season and then on into the playoffs. We're not going to get much more information than that, although Scott was forthcoming on Nikolaj Ehlers. Brandon Tanev, Kyle Connor, and Dylan DeMello all exercising their options to not skate today because today was an optional skate. And then, of course, there are Gabe Vilardi, Rasmus Kupari day-to-day, and Nikolaj Ehlers week-to-week.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is significant news for sure. I mean, his first round is, potentially in doubt here to get into a game here, Kelly.
Well, Cam, I don't know that we could say that. I think what we would have to probably take a look at, because if it's week to week, he got hurt Saturday in Chicago. Game 1 is not going to be until Saturday or Sunday, so there is your first week of the week to week. I think we go with what we know. I would say a question mark for sure for Game 1, but I don't know that I'd want to commit to anything beyond that. But that's just me.
Okay, understood. There's some positives too as well. I mean, I think everybody. I mean, I got text messages from some friends and some people that I know about Dylan Samberg. It certainly indicated from Scott Arniel in his postgame that it wasn't as bad, and it maybe was the dead leg, Kelly. That's sort of what was going through my head as well. But a huge relief to be able to have him on the blue line when the playoffs start. Fingers crossed. Of course, everything is still we have to wait for things to for them to actually hit the ice before we know for sure.
Well, he's going to play. There's no problem with him at all. He was fine, and he said he was fine, and you are bang on, Dr. Poitras, with your dead leg assessment. And it brought back you're welcome, Dr. Poitras, who you will be now known as from now on. The mad doctor.
That's a nice ring to it, Dr. Poitras.
Does it include a pay raise, about $100K, something like that? I don't know, Kelly.
Well, you'll have to talk to Ross Levitan about that. I understand he knows. Anyway, we had a great conversation with Dylan, and do you guys remember New Year's? Well, I don't know if Toth remembers. It was New Year's Eve, but Cam, I know you will because you were home being a good dad. New Year's Eve, I'm getting my shots in now, Toth, because once the playoff starts, then we have to be formal. But New Year's Eve, remember, Dylan DeMello took that shot in the loss to Colorado, barely hobbled off the ice, and there he was for the morning skate ahead of the January 2nd game against Anaheim. And so when this happened, and we mentioned it on the postgame show, it brought back memories of that dead leg syndrome that Dylan DeMello spoke about, and Dylan Samberg told us basically the same thing. He said after about 5 to 10 minutes or so in the dressing room, the feeling had come back. He said it was still painful. A different kind of pain than that broken bone that he suffered in his shot on the foot, blocking that shot from Steve Stamkos. But I guess if it had been a playoff game, he might have returned to the action. But obviously there was no need for him to do that. But he said that he felt fine about 5 or 10 minutes after that initial shot to the leg. I think, was it Evan Bouchard or Connor McDavid or Adam Henry? It was one of the three.
It was Connor McDavid, yeah.
It was McDavid. Okay, There you go. Yeah.
So, Kelly, what do you think the lineup looks like tomorrow, understanding the health picture you just presented, but also I would assume a lot of guys that didn't play on Sunday don't want to go a week without a game before the playoffs?
Wow. Could we call you Professor Toth on that one?
Yes, you can. In fact, I encourage you.
I love that tweed jacket. Looks good on you.
Thank you. And I'm smoking in every jacket.
Especially with the iron-on patches on the elbows, too.
Those are actually worn out. Those aren't just for decoration. I wore holes in those.
Anyway, I'm glad you asked, Professor Toth, because I have written down my projected lines and defense pairs based on what Scott Arniel told us, and it's exactly that, Jim. Nobody wants to be sitting for a week, for the guys like Josh Morrissey and Adam Lowry who didn't play on Sunday. It would even be longer than that. So I think you're going to see the number one line stay intact with Mark Scheifele between Kyle Connor and Alex Iafallo. I think you'd probably see Nino Niederreiter jump up to play with Vlad Domestikov and Cole Perfetti. And I think Brandon Tanev will play on the left side with Adam Lowry and Mason Appleton. And then you'd have Jared Anderson-Dolan with Morgan Barron and either David Gustafson or Dominic Toninato. And then the defense pairs would be Josh Morrissey and Dylan DeMello, Dylan Samberg and Neil Pionk, and Luke Shen and Logan Stanley. And Luke Shen, by the way, was out after practice with two of his kids out there. I can't imagine how special that is for him to have his family up here because, as you guys well know, he's made a couple of trips to Nashville when the Jets have had extra days off to go see them there. So it was a neat sight, rather, to see him out there with his two little ones.
Yeah, that's the sort of the unseen family side to these, trades.
Absolutely.
And he moved to Pittsburgh and then to Winnipeg and all that sort of thing. Kelly Moore was live at Practice Hockey for All Center, giving us an update. Kelly, thanks so much. You take care.
Oh, by the way, Connor Hellebuck will start in goal.
Oh, okay. I expected that.
He would be the one that the most adamant and not wanting to go a week without playing.
Yeah. You know that, yeah. And gunning for his 47th victory of the season, guys, which would be the second highest in NHL history. So, and the other thing I'll leave you with, the Jets don't want to get swept by Anaheim. So there's a little bit still on the dish for Game 82.
That's right. The one team they haven't beaten yet.
And the Kings.
And the Kings. And the Kings. Yeah.
It's that
you just lost. You're just now. You're Professor Emeritus. You've just lost your full-time title.
It's that Southern California. It's that sun.
It's that sun.
It's that beautiful sun.
The tan.
Yeah, it's something like that. Kelly, thanks so much.
Thanks, Cal.
Anytime, fellas.
Yeah, 204-780-6868, 204-780-6868. So, that's big news. Nikolaj Ehlers out week to week.
Yeah, it is, and I don't know what it was, and I watched that collision with the linesman several times. The thing that stands out about that to me, look, I'm not trying to blame a linesman at all for that or an official. Mm-hmm. These things happen at the speed of the game.
Yeah.
But Adam Lowry, gets along with all the officials and is quite cordial to them. He was incensed. And I thought what I saw him say on one of the replays was you see him coming. Now he has to stand there for the offside call, right?
Yeah.
But if Nikolaj Ehlers is back to you, he's you got to see that. You got to understand that he can't see you and to move or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because Adam usually is very cordial with the officials and stuff, but he was quite upset about that. So I don't know, clearly this is why you often don't play hurt, is because things like this can happen, but week to week is ominous. They need him. And let's be honest, going into free agency, everybody's focused on the Stanley Cup. But some of the side stories of this playoffs is Nick Ehlers and how he performs in the playoffs, right? But he needs to be healthy to do that.
Yeah, and the Jets coaching staff would not put him out there if they didn't feel that he was able to go.
Yeah, I'm not saying they did a bad thing or he did a bad thing. I'm just saying when you have an aggravation, this is what sometimes happens, right? And it's a freak thing, right? But great news on Vilardi, great news on Samberg.
Yeah.
And this is really disappointing news about Ehlers.
Week to week to me is an ominous term, especially at this time, especially when you've heard Scott O'Neill come out and say several times, all you're going to get from me, guys, expect day to day. Expect day to day.
My gut feeling on these injuries week to week once the playoffs start is you don't play him in game one. Mm-hmm. He's week to week. If you win game one, no pressure to play him game two. How's he doing?
Yeah.
Is he ready? Is he not? Is he 90%? Then no worries.
Yeah.
Then you go into game three. Maybe you drop game three. Then you look at game four and say, it's now been 2 weeks. How is he? How's he look? Stuff like that. It's different if game 1 and 2, you lose, you're down 0-2. And then it's like, what is he? He's at 90%. He wants to go. Or like, so I think the playoffs I don't think they'll risk anything with him.
Yeah.
At all. But I'm just saying my experience with this is it's like, if it's week to week, he's a no-go for game one. And then you see how you do in game one, right?
Yeah, and Vilardi to me sounds like, I mean, they're obviously going to put him through some conditioning and all that leading up to Saturday or Sunday when the first round does begin, depending on if it's going to be Calgary or St. Louis or Minnesota. Probably going to be a game time decision. It's going to be like, how is he going? Maybe first game, second game, but we'll see. But it'll be good to have Gabriel Vilardi. But Dylan Samberg, I mean, we knew the dip that the Winnipeg Jets took when he was not in the lineup. That's how important of a piece he is to this club's success. Yeah. And I know there was a lot of people concerned. I certainly was myself.
Well, he just has such a strong pain threshold. I mean, we don't have to look forward past. He broke his foot, got up and blocked another one.
Yeah.
This absolutely, like, he couldn't even get to his knees, and the play was going on. So that's what concerned me, because this is, I mean, every hockey player is tough, but he is beyond tough. And he's shown it in the past. So to be that, disabled, that's what the worrisome was. But if it catches you in the right place, you just can't get up sometimes.
Download the Jets at Noon podcast free now on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts, with exclusive Jets talk and content only found there. And take Jets at Noon wherever you go and continue the conversation whenever you want. Let's take a break. Let's come back on the other side. Columbus is still in it. I'll tell you what they have to do.
And we got to talk about respect.
We have to talk about respect, because I'm officially finished with power rankings. I will bring them up every now and then, but listen, I'm not going to key in on these. TSN put out their power ranking. I do not agree with it.
But there's some goalie rankings out there. Yeah, we discuss.
from the Players Association. Yeah. So there's a couple things. We'll get to that before the show's up.
As De Niro said, you disrespect him a little bit. A little bit.
Okay.
Okay. No. You disrespect him a little bit there.
At noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
You got your Mother's Day plans already? I booked mine today because they're already booking up the popular spots. I had to get did you get your Mother's Day plans locked up there, Jim Toth?
Sure I did, yeah. All good. Nice little heart-shaped pizza from Boston Pizza. Oh, that's Valentine's Day.
It's all the same
right now.
Oh, I'm just saying I took care of mine today. I'm just asking if you
in your reservation, can you book another for 6?
I got it. It's full, man. I can only do 8.
What about 1? Can I just send my mom with you? Look, we got some news here out of Calgary.
Yeah.
Eric Francis, Sportsnet, great writer. Ryan Huska says he's discussed all scenarios with the players tonight, including the possibility the Flames might have to pull the goalie late in a tied game in an effort to get more regulation wins in St. Louis. No matter what unfolds, it should be a wild one.
Absolutely.
So they're preparing for hell or high water. They got to get 2 points tonight and basically in regulation.
Yep, they got to do whatever you have to.
Because that's a tiebreaker, right?
That's
regulation
right.
wins.
It's regulation, yeah. If they win today in regulation, it changes things, but they have to win in regulation today.
Could you imagine it's like 3-3 with 3 minutes to go, and all of a sudden there's a face-off with no goalie in there?
Yeah, no, they have to win both of those games in regulation, because the regulation overtime one. Yeah, I stand corrected. Got to give away our Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. Got to give it to Shauna. She razzed me about me hating the pump up songs, the parody
the playoff songs.
Jim loves them. I don't like them. Do not send them to me, cam@cjob.com. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to see them at Cam at noon on X.
People like to have fun, Cam. I don't know why you're fun police.
Some people like fun.
Father now.
Also, we mentioned...
Keep it down over there with your playoff songs.
You mentioned the Flames, too, as well. Columbus is going to have to win in regulation today. or the Habs are going to be clinching a playoff spot. So they can't give any points up. Columbus is going to have to win out right here. So they're going to have to stay alive. The playoff rankings, power rankings came in from TSN. Tampa was number 1, followed by Los Angeles. 3, the Oilers, the most banged up team in the National Hockey League. Los Angeles is number 2. Vegas is number 4. The Jets are number 5.
Get out of here.
I can't. They're dead to me. Like, the power rankings are dead to me.
Take the standings out of it. Do you not watch them play? Do you not watch the Oilers play and the Jets play and not see better structure, better defense, better goaltending?
Look at the game against Dallas with all the chips.
I hate to sound like a player getting angry at the media, but do you watch the games?
Yeah. I'm with you.
The other one is, which we had tweeted at us here, and maybe we'll have more time for this later on, by Jimmy Ray. I don't know if it's that Jimmy Ray from, what was the band? Sugar Ray. I'm sorry, I mistaken my Rays.
Jimmy Ray, Sugar Ray. He was a boxer, wasn't he, back in his day? Jimmy Ray?
Say hey? Jimmy Ray?
Is this Hellebuck?
The players voted. The players' NHLPA poll has Hellebuck as the 3rd best goalie according to NHL players. Number 1 is Andrei Vasilevsky. Number 2 is Igor Shesterkin. You got to be kidding me here. Vasilevsky, maybe, since he's gotten fully healthy and Christmas time, he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, he's got the playoff pedigree.
Igor Shesterkin, the last 2 years.
And it's not even close. Almost 24% for Shesterkin, only like 15% for Hellebuck. Like that's not like it was tight.
You know what? My father always taught me you got to earn respect.
That's right.
You disrespect me a little bit, I'm going to show you. I'm going to go home and get my shine box. Yeah. And I'm going to show you some respect. It probably starts this weekend.
No. I didn't disrespect nobody.
Little bit you did.
1 minute we're over here, we're hugging and kissing, and all of a sudden he's acting like a jerk.
Okay. Everybody's having a good time, but a little bit you did. And I'm going to go get my shine box when the playoffs start.
Jim told to take you all the way to 2 o'clock. Thank you very much, Jeffrey Fortier. You are the best in the biz. The great Jeffrey Fortier producing the show. That's it for me. Be back same time tomorrow. See ya.